Oh, I'm sorry. I am just having a flood of memories. Just me and that Happy Meal toy in the back seat, not a care in the world. This looks so good. I need to make up more of these. These look incredible. That is a comfort meal. I am making cereal bars. So there's the classic, marshmallow rice cereal bars. But then there were the cereal bars that kind of mimicked milk and cereal, but on the go. This is kind of a do-it-yourself version of that. So I need 2 egg whites. We want soft peaks on these egg whites, so we're just gonna let this thing run. Of course, you can do this with a hand mixer or even with a whisk. Get some volume out of these 2 egg whites. We're gonna use a technique that uses egg whites to bind our cereal together. This is exactly the texture we're looking for. Just nice, pale egg whites, nice and fluffy. And I'm just gonna add just a tiny bit of honey. You can skip this step. It's just to give the egg whites a little bit of flavor and sweetness. I'm using some Fruit Loops. You can use Cheerios. You can use any cereal you want to. Flake cereals might break up a little bit, but you can try that too. Then all of our egg whites go in. Make sure to get them all, because we're gonna need all the binding power we can muster. Who says muster anymore? Sometimes I come up with the weirdest vocab. We'll just roll with it. Be confident in it. Just like Moira Rose, we wanna fold it in. Fold it in. You don't wanna lose too much volume out of those egg whites, and you wanna get everything coated. This is gonna go into a baking dish. This is about 9 by 13. Get everything compact in there. Try not to crush things, but you want one flat, even layer where everything's touching and connected. One thing you can do, you can use the back of a spatula or get in there with your hands and press everything together down to the edges, flat and pressed in. We're gonna put this in the oven. Doesn't really need to cook. We just wanna set those egg whites so everything sticks together. The store-bought cereal bars have like a milky glaze on them. It's like kind of dipped in a milk substance. So we're just gonna make a white chocolate glaze to put on them. I'm just gonna add a little bit of coconut oil in there just to thin it out, and then when it gets cold, it'll re-solidify. Gonna put this in the microwave. 20-second burst to melt chocolate, or white chocolate in our case. This is looking great. Nice and runny. One other thing I'm gonna add, just to add that milk flavor into our cereal bars, is a little bit of milk powder. Powdered milk is gonna give us some milk flavor in our coating. Just make sure there's no lumps. Get that combined. I'm gonna give this a taste. Definitely has a very milky flavor to it. That's awesome. Now I made a batch ahead. This is after it's been baked and cooled. Sometimes help to keep this in the refrigerator. I am making some gnarly rectangles here, but you get the idea. But you see how those egg whites help hold everything together? Give this a good stir. We'll take one of our bars, dip the bottom in. You might get a little on your fingers. And then right onto a tray to solidify. These are really firm right out of the refrigerator, so it's a really good idea to keep them cold. Let the excess drip off. There we go. Oh, I love the drizzle on top. I think it adds a nice touch. I'm gonna put these in the refrigerator to set up. And we have cereal bars. Here are our cereal bars. They've got the coating on the bottom, just like the packaged snack. A cereal treat and a fun project you can make at home. When I think of classic childhood recipes, chicken nuggets has got to be at the top of that list. Of course, we had the freezer bag that we'd heat up, but it's, not the same. I have ground chicken in here. I'm gonna just season it up. I've got some pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, paprika. Go wild with your spice cabinet. Of course, a little bit of salt. Not too much, there we go. And then I'm gonna add an egg in. This will just help bind it. Basically, a chicken nugget is a chicken meatball that's like flat and fried. So, same principles, kind of close. So I just picked up some ground chicken from the store, nothing special. I do like the ground chicken with a little higher fat content. It'll just make it a little juicier. I'm just making sure this is all mixed so everything's well combined. You can do this from regular chicken breasts, chicken thighs, just put them in a food processor, pulse them until it's one kind of continuous mixture. I was gonna use the word homogeneous, that's so technical. Using my vocab when I do these. A tool that helps here is a cookie scoop. You can do this with a spoon or even just your hands. This is a tablespoon and a half scoop. I'm gonna put it in to the cornstarch, toss it around. This is a messy hand project. And what you wanna do is get it into that traditional shape. Just kind of a circle, a little oblong nugget. I'm gonna take another scoop, dip it in there. The cornstarch really helps to not stick to your hands. It's a little messy. Pat off any excess. we're gonna just keep rolling. So out of about a pound of chicken, I'm looking to get about 12 of these. There's my chicken nuggets. Some of these have that classic chicken nugget shape, but we want them to hold that shape, so these need to go into the freezer. So I have these chicken nuggets. These have been in the freezer. That's what we want in order for them to hold their shape while they get battered. So I have some flour here. I'm gonna add a little bit of cornstarch just for some extra crispiness and texture. Some recipes even include an egg in here. I'm just doing the flour mixture and some water. So this is about equal parts, 1 cup total dry and 1 cup total liquid, but I go just a little shy on the liquid, so it's just a little thicker. I'm gonna season this up, little salt. You can use an all-purpose or combination seasoning, onion, garlic, paprika, anything you have in your spice cabinet. That's looking about great. Runny, but thick. Coat, flip, get some of that excess off. You wanna make sure oil's around 350. I do a little bit above, because that temp will come down just a little bit. Don't overcrowd. This is perfect if you work in batches. They smell good, I can tell you that. I usually keep them moving, make sure they don't stick to each other, especially in the first few seconds. When they start to float to the top, when they get a golden brown color, you know that they're ready. Now that's a chicken nugget right there. That's so fun. I get a kick out of these things. I'm just gonna transfer these to a wire rack, let them cool off a little bit, all that excess oil drain off. Let's taste one of these nuggets. I think I grabbed the hottest one. I meant to grab a cooler one. That is good. That sauce is good. I just need a vehicle to eat some honey mustard and I'm happy. Those are good. Now, since I seasoned them myself, usually the inside of that chicken nugget is just basically salt. You can see all the seasoning in there. You can taste all the flavor. These are delicious. They taste like the real deal with some added flavor. I homemade them, so I know exactly what's in them. There's something about this barbecue with a chicken nugget tastes like I went to the drive-thru. Like a flood of memories came back. Just me and that Happy Meal toy in the back seat. Not a care in the world. I'm definitely loving it. One of the classic after-school snacks was Totino's pizza rolls, and I haven't had them in forever. And I was thinking, what's a way that I could have the pizza roll flavor, the pizza roll experience without having actual pizza rolls. So I decided to make them myself. I have a little bowl of cheese. You actually don't need much filling. You only need a little bit of filling per pizza roll. So maybe this is a cup of cheese. Now these are thick cut, spicier pepperonis I found at the grocery store, and this thicker cut works a little bit better. And those just go right in. So I want this to be really cheesy, so you just need a little bit of pepperoni just to dot throughout the cheese mixture. So you just need a few tablespoons of sauce. The point is for a little bit of flavor of the sauce. We don't want this wet. So you can season it up however you want. If you're making it at home anyways, doing a DIY recipe, you know, make it your own. That looks just about right. What we're using to make our pizza roll, wonton skins. You can find egg roll skins. They're the same, just a little bit bigger, so you can cut them down or just make big rolls. But I'm using the smaller wonton size. It's good to keep these covered just so they don't dry out. You could do that with a little loose piece of plastic wrap or a damp paper towel. So you don't need much filling here. For these small ones, you need about a teaspoon, and then I'm gonna use just a little bit of water just to act as glue. So basically you roll it, press it down, and you fold under the sides and kind of pinch those closed, fold them under. There we go, we have our little pizza purse, pizza pocket, pizza roll. Line those on a tray. We're gonna continue on with the rest. This is a good cooking project, you know, put on a podcast, put on a show, but it's really easy. Once you get the rhythm, tuck that under, pinch closed, you have your little pocket. Now you can fry these. I'm gonna bake them, just a little easier, a little less effort, a little less mess. They still come out pretty crispy and delicious. And you can even put them in the freezer. Then you'll have them ready to go whenever you wanna bake them. We have all of our pizza rolls ready to go. I want these to get crispy, so I'm gonna get a little bit of olive oil. You don't need too much. I'm actually going to add just a little bit of Italian seasoning. You could just do oregano, whatever you have, and just a little bit of Parmesan cheese in here. Get that mixed up. If you're feeling spicy, you can add some red pepper flake. And we're just gonna brush this mixture on. You don't need a lot, just on the top, dab it on. This will get things nice and crispy. So these really take no time in the oven, just about 15 minutes, and you'll have pizza rolls. From scratch, made your way. All right, straight into the oven. Alexa, set timer for 15 minutes. Oh, ho, ho, golden. Look at those. These look like awesome little pizza rolls. We got a few bursters, but that's okay. These are gonna be molten lava. You will burn your tongue. So just give these a few minutes to cool down, for that cheese to set up, for that hot pepperoni oil to not be so blazing. I'm gonna top with a little extra Parmesan cheese, a little bit more Italian seasoning, and the finishing touch, some marinara. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy about this. I need to make up more of these. These look incredible. All right, who wants to watch me burn my mouth? Everything's so hot. Oh, oh. Cheesy, pepperoni. Those herbs on there are so good, crispy. These are a fun snack. Oh yeah, the middle part is the best. So gooey and cheesy. You gotta try these. I'm taking a childhood classic side dish. I mean, really, for me, it was a regular thing I ate just as a meal, but mac and cheese, you know, the powdered cheese packet mac and cheese. You can actually just find powdered cheese. Online is the best resource to find it. Some specialty stores do carry it, and I have seen it out in the wild. The cool thing about powdered cheese is it's not just a bunch of chemicals. It's actual cheese just dehydrated, turned into a powder. So I have some water coming up to a boil. We're gonna take our normal elbow macaronis. I like the small ones. I'm just gonna do a full pound. Now I have about 4 cups of water in here. The trick we're working on today is a no drain pasta. So you just barely cover about a pound of pasta in water. It's kind of like making rice where you want it to absorb the liquid that you're cooking it in. A little bit of that residual starch is actually good. It's gonna help you pull this sauce together. Of course you can get the boxed mac and cheese, but making your own variation with powdered cheese is just the same, and you can adjust and control the portions. So that box is only so many servings. If you wanna make more, have a cheese powder, or if you want to make a little less, it's a good way to control the portion. So cheese powder is not just a one-trick pony. You can sprinkle it on popcorn, use it on your baked potatoes. That sounds delicious. It's good for cheese sauces, clearly. Soups, ooh, a cheddar broccoli soup with a little cheese powder in there. Anyways, we're off the rails. So it's already doing it. The macaroni is soaking up a bunch of this liquid. You want a lot of evaporation, so I tend to use a wider pot. You do want to keep stirring this because any pasta that's floated to the top, you want it back in the bottom to keep hydrating and keep soaking up the liquid. This will have plenty of time to cook. I'm gonna add some milk, some butter, get that melted. This is a full pot. We got a lot going on here. So I'm gonna add some garlic powder, a little paprika for color and flavor. You could add some hot sauce or cayenne for heat, a little salt. I love a ton of pepper in my mac and cheese. We're gonna add that cheese powder in. You can smell it. It smells like a Cheeto. It smells like the regular Kraft mac and cheese box. The cheese powders you can find in white cheddar cheese. They make different types of cheese powders, so you can really mix it up. Speaking of mixing it up, we're getting saucy. Choose the small skillet, they said. You'll have enough room, they said. But you all know that I'm naturally a messy chef. On the Bear, they're like, yes, chef. I'm like, mess, chef. Okay, I'm gonna turn this down just so more of the liquid doesn't evaporate, and all we need to do is combine and enjoy. This couldn't be easier. I didn't have to get out a colander. It only took 1 pot. Look how perfect this looks though. Creamy, the perfect consistency. If you need a little bit more liquid, just do another dash of milk. But I like mine kind of creamy, not too saucy. If I learned anything from growing up watching cooking shows, it is taste your food. Check the seasoning. Don't oversalt in the beginning. Season in layers. This tastes like the real deal. It's cheese powder. How can you go wrong? 1 pot, creamy, gooey mac and cheese. Just perfect. Look at those, how exciting! Mini bagels at the grocery store. You know exactly what these were made for? To do your own at-home mini pizza bagels. I grew up on those things. You took them out of the freezer, you threw them in the microwave or the oven. Well, now we're all grown up and we can make them ourselves at home, control the quality of ingredients. So there's a couple keys when it comes to making your own mini pizza bagels at home. One is the pepperoni. You can cube up some sliced pepperoni, just like that. Or you can go for the pepperoni that you can slice up whole. So the whole point of a pizza bagel is that it's a fast, quick, delicious, tasty snack. So what I would recommend is if you're gonna have this over the next couple days, keep it as a snack in the refrigerator for the family, prep these ingredients first. Prep your cheese, prep your pepperoni, so it's already all cubed up, and then you can make a few of these at a time whenever you want them. All you have to do, put them together, toss them in an oven, an air fryer. I mean, you can cook these in various ways. So I just prepared my pepperoni in a little container. I can put a lid on that and it's in the refrigerator ready to go. Of course, you could use shredded cheese, but I'm gonna try and mimic the same thing. Do some slices of cheese. You can even use like a buffalo mozzarella. You can get those mini mozzarellas, chop those up. I love this because you can really switch up the flavors, control the quality of ingredients, use up what you have at home. It's really so versatile to not play by the rules. You make up the rules. So I was thinking of maybe toasting these first so the sauce doesn't soak into it, but that's actually what I want. I want a little bit of this sauce to seep into the bread, to toast into there as it cooks. And I'm just using jarred marinara sauce. It's not even pizza sauce. For this, it's not that important. I like the flavors in most marinara sauces, so like tomato basil or a spicy version or garlic in them. So go ahead and use that or whatever you have in the cabinet. Let's get to topping. I'm gonna go with our pepperoni first. Get those scattered around. The pepperonis were always my favorite part of the pizza bagels, but sometimes they didn't have very many pepperonis on it. This is why you can make your own, go wild, add as much as you want, make it really meaty, make it really cheesy. And I'm gonna add some Parmesan, another addition that's not in the traditional freezer version. Last few steps, little Italian seasoning, just for a little extra flavor. And I like things spicy, so I'll just do one row with some extra crushed red pepper. That's gonna be a spicy one. Now guess what? The next step, super easy. Just cook these until everything is melty and delicious. All right, these are looking melty and delicious. Oh, and I can smell all that seasoning on there, those herbs. Look at those. Those look incredible. It really is the cubing that makes the flavor of the pizza bagel. Oh, the bagel's nice and toasty. Look at that treat. Look at that delight. This looks so good. What's so great about this recipe, you can just make one mini bagel as a snack. You can make 10, you can make 12, you can make as many as you want to. That's so good. Play around with the flavors, play around with the ingredients, choose your own sauce, choose your own toppings. Go wild. Pizza bagels for a new generation? These are fun. I'm making a classic recipe, bringing it back. This is tuna noodle casserole. I grew up having this kind of as a staple, and I feel like even growing up, it was like a special occasion meal, you know, a casserole. We're having a good, nice dinner. It's noodles, it's protein, it's vegetables. So I wanted to make it and share it all with you. I put some butter in just this large pot. Gonna sweat down some onions and some celery. When I chopped up the celery, I love the tops of the celery, the green leafy part. I think it has a lot of flavor. It's my favorite in chicken pot pie, chicken noodle soup, and this tuna noodle casserole. I'm gonna show you a simple cream base you can pull together, but the traditional way is just to use canned soup. Cream of mushroom or cream of celery are the classics. If you're mushroom averse, of course, go with the celery. You can even use cream of chicken soup. I think that's why it's a comfort food, is every family has their own variation that you remember growing up. I'm gonna add my garlic. Ooh, that smells so good, that garlic. Feeling those onions in my eyes a little bit. This is gonna bake in the oven, so you don't really need to cook this a ton. Just making sure it's sweated out a little bit. I'm gonna add a little bit of flour, just about a tablespoon or two. This will help thicken everything up. You wanna cook this about a minute or so just to get that raw flour taste out. I'm gonna go ahead and season this up a little bit. I have some dried thyme. You could use fresh herbs, dried herbs. I love peppers, so we're gonna go heavy on that. Just a little pinch of salt. Adding in the milk. Then I just need this to come up to just a gentle simmer, and we can add the rest of our ingredients and casserole away. But look at this delicious cream base we have. This is a really good fridge clean out meal. If you have some dry noodles in the pantry along with a few cans of tuna, you can really use anything in your kitchen. So I had some cream cheese in there. I'm gonna use some of that, get that nice and melted in there. I love the creaminess it'll add to this sauce, a little bit of tang. This is just some mozzarella cheese. The classic has cheddar. I was out, I had some mozzarella I needed to use up. Cleaning out the fridge with a classic comfort meal. Sauce is thickening up a little bit. That's what that flour is for. Everything's melting together. Look at this sauce, it's gonna be so good. I'm gonna add just a little bit. Parmesan's kind of salty. I've already salted this quite a bit. Just want a little bit of the flavor. If you're not a cheese fan, you can leave the cheese out. That sauce is good to go. I'm adding in some frozen green peas. You don't need a lot, just for some color. You can use those mixed bag vegetables that have green beans and little diced carrots. Use anything you want. It gives it color. That is creamy and delicious. I love the garlic in there, the onion. Of course, tuna noodle casserole needs some tuna, so I'm gonna add that in now. Tuna's for a bit of protein and that tuna flavor. I grew up on canned tuna salad, tuna noodle casserole. This is such a throwback food. Completely optional, but some fresh herbs, like some fresh chopped parsley, really brightens it up. So I'm gonna add just a little bit of that. I love fresh herbs in a casserole, any pasta dish really. Look at our delicious cream sauce. I mean, that looks so good. Look at this, that's amazing. I like that there's some little chunks and big chunks of tuna, so try to not break it up too much. You want some texture in the tuna. Just our noodles. I cooked this before I made the sauce. These noodles can go right in. Follow the package instructions, but I undercooked them just a little bit. This is gonna soak up some of this cream sauce while it bakes, and you don't want them noodles too mushy. You want them to have a little bit of texture, so you're just basically giving them a bit of a head start. Oh, this is the sound you're looking for. This is classic casserole sound. Creamy, noodly goodness. So I used egg noodles. That's the traditional way to go here, but you could use shells. You could use just about any pasta you want. This looks like the perfect tuna noodle casserole. I guess you could do a one-pot dish. We just ended here. Done. Go ahead and get me a bowl and serve me up some of this. I'm just gonna spray this casserole dish. You can use some butter on the inside too. That'll give it more flavor. It'll be a little bit more comforting. A breadcrumb topping is optional. Not quite optional for me. You could just bake the casserole, let the top get nice and crispy. This is just some plain breadcrumbs, a little bit of that Parmesan cheese, some parsley. I'm gonna do a little bit of Italian seasoning, but you could just do breadcrumbs and butter, melted butter. For about a half a cup of breadcrumbs, this is just a few tablespoons of butter. Oh, I'm sorry. I am just having a flood of memories, and the smells of this just taking me back to being a kid. Crumb topping on. You don't want it completely covered. You want some texture from the noodles. Off to the oven. Since this is already cooked through, all we're looking to do is just brown this up. What do we do while things bake? We clean up. That's what we're doing now. Back to it. Oven mitts on, casserole out. Oh, I can hear it bubbling, sizzling. Bam. Look how creamy that is. This is the most impractical vessel to eat this out of. This looks amazing. A little bit of that breadcrumb topping. Those peas, I love peas. That is a comfort meal. This is so good. Frickin' delicious. You gotta try this. Dinner served and I can feed an army. Do the casserole dance. Boom, boom. Do the casserole dance.